I don't want this to be a whole thing, but I can't stop crying, so can we all pretend I'm not crying?
This is Whose Creek Is It?
The podcast where two sisters recap and pontificate about the show Dawson's Creek.
I'm Miranda, and I've seen the whole series at least 5 times.
And I'm Allison, and I'm watching this show for the very first time. Let's get started. This episode was messy. Except not for Jen. Jen got to not be the messy one.
Yeah.
That's so nice for her.
Yeah, she got to be graceful in this episode.
Yeah.
So, season 2, episode 6, titled The Dance, came out on November 11th, 1998. Director was Lou Antonio, and the writer was John Harmon Feldman. And
Love him.
yeah, it was a dance.
It was a dance.
Yep.
And yeah, we start in Dawson's bedroom again.
We do, but this time the whole gang's there, except for Jen.
I know. That's what I realized at the end of the scene. I was like, oh, Jen has been replaced.
Kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess. With like someone completely opposite of her.
Yeah, so it's Dawson, Joey, Pacey, and Andie.
Mm-hmm. And Andie is dancing to Footloose. I guess they're watching Footloose.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've never watched, so I don't know what the premise is. They dance, I guess.
I have not watched the movie, but I've, seen plenty of scenes, and like I think I heard about it on like I Love the 80s or something. And the premise is that Kevin Bacon moves to this town where no one's allowed to dance because they're like religious and they think it's sinful or it'll lead to more sin or something. It's like a gateway sin.
Oh, okay.
And Kevin Bacon's from, I don't know, the big city or some other town where they do dance. And he's like, no, we gotta dance. And there's two people driving tractors at each other to play chicken. And he teaches his best friend to dance. And I think the uptight, like, preacher that doesn't want people to dance is John Lithgow. And then I think they end with the high school having a dance, and then Kevin Bacon just comes up to the camera and goes, "Let's dance!" So it is about a dance.
Okay. I was gonna mention I was gonna say I've met Kevin Bacon. I didn't meet him. I once was walking down the street and I saw him.
in where you live?
Yeah. There was some like film festival happening, and I was walking down like this street that has all the fancy hotels,
Mm-hmm.
and he came out of a hotel while I was walking by, and I looked at him, and then I did a double take because I was like, wait, that face looks famous. And then he made eye contact with me when I did my double take because he's like, oh no, is this person going to bother me right now? But I just kept walking because I was like, I don't know who that guy is. I know he's famous.
Yeah, when you see a celebrity that you're not like a big fan of, or that you don't have like, or you're just like, oh, that's happening. It's just extra weird to go up to a celebrity that you don't actually care about.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I went to see the filmmaker John Waters on his Christmas tour because he does like a Christmas show, like spoken word thing. And the venue was this like hotel with like restaurants in it, and I was meeting a friend in the restaurant, and I'm like trying to find a table, and then I realized, oh, that's John Waters. But like I left him alone. I just like was like, oh, so that's him there. He's with someone. It would be really weird to bother him. I'm just going to go over there. And that's why I'm better than most people.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I don't want to make a fool of myself because that's worse than just not doing anything at all.
It would be really funny if you walked up to him and said, I know you're famous, but I don't know who you are. He's like, I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, so Andie, I guess, is a big fan of Footloose, and she mentions that she's excited about Homecoming, and Dawson, Pacey, and Joey are like, oh, we're not those people.
Yeah, they're too cool for rites of passage and constructed fun. Which seems like, I get it. I didn't go to prom or anything, but like, in retrospect, you're just like, oh my god, you don't. Having a good time isn't stupid.
Yeah, they were bragging about never going to a football game or a pep rally. Um, and yeah, I went to prom. I
Yeah,
went
you
to
did.
prom because I was like, well, why not?
Yeah.
And I even went to some like football games when I was in high school because it was just an excuse for me and my friends to hang out in the
Yeah.
evening together. And I remember one time I was at a football game and mom and dad like called me and were like, "Is the game almost over?" And I'm like, no, I think it's like halftime right now." And my friend was like, "It's the fourth quarter." I'm like, oh, "Okay, it's the fourth quarter."
Yeah, and then pep rallies, I don't feel like they were ever optional. They were like in the middle of the day.
They were mandatory.
Yeah,
I
mandatory pep.
I think it was like, was it my senior year? I think so, that I had made friends with the art teacher and he would let me and my friends stay in class. He's like, "You don't have to go. You can just hang out here."
Yeah, because it's like, okay, I'm of two minds. On the one hand, like, you're not too cool to have fun. On the other hand, like, a mandatory pep rally during school hours is kind of weird.
Yeah, and it's always like it's for a subsect of the school population.
Hmm.
Like no one's celebrating me.
I do remember there was one where it was like they were giving prizes to kids who had like turned around their academic career. And it was like, wow, so and so raised his GPA up to like a 2.8. Here's a PlayStation. And I was like, what the fuck do I get for having perfect grades the whole time?
A future.
I mean, honestly, really? Not really. I'm a millennial. That was never going to happen. Anyway, so yeah, Pacey, Dawson, Joey gang are like, no, that's lame. And Andie's like, y'all suck.
Yeah. She's like, all you guys like to do is bitch and moan.
And watch movies. Or like, she's like, you would rather watch people doing the things than do the thing. And yeah, I was like, yeah, that's good point, Andie.
Yeah, then Andie goes into talking about basically what you described about Footloose, that like going to a dance is like sinful foreplay or something. And for some reason that works.
Yeah, and in my mind, I'm just like, guys, no one's stopping you but you. You could. It's not like you have to like check off the box of dancing before sex. You could just do that, but you're teens who maybe aren't ready, and so it feels more comfortable to go to a dance and feel like you're moving towards something than to actually do it.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good explanation of what's happening. Okay, so next we're at school and Bessie's dropping off Joey in their beat up truck, and Joey, I guess like the guilt gets to her and tells Bessie, her sister, that Jack had kissed her at the restaurant, which Bessie thinks is hilarious, I guess.
She's like, Jack? Oh my gosh. Do you usually see this with women in TV and movies where they're like, oh, what a loser, or they're so ugly, and it's like obviously a hot person, and like they're trying so hard to make like Jack clueless and clumsy, but it's like, no, he's a cute boy.
Yeah, he's kind of just like that character that's in his own adventures off to the side almost. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't get much attention.
Yeah. And Joey's like all hung up about it, and Bessie's like, so he kissed you. You didn't do anything wrong. She tells Joey, like, you don't need to tell Dawson about this. Which I was like of two minds about. I was like, I mean, yeah, if you and Jack can both be cool, but we all know
if,
that's not going to happen.
yeah, if there really was nothing happening beyond him kissing you, it shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, just like it's all in how you deliver the news. Like if Joey had gone to Dawson and be like, oh my God, you're never going to believe what happened. You know,
Mhm.
that guy I work with who's like such a klutz. Uh, it just make like if the way you deliver it can make it not a big deal, but
Yeah.
maybe that's hard to tell when you're 15 and a TV character.
Mhm. But yeah, her sister's like, just pretend it didn't happen. And I'm like, I don't think these people are good at that, but okay.
Yeah. Just pretend it didn't happen is rarely an effective strategy.
Yeah, so she gets out of the truck and they play Kiss Me.
Yeah, by sixpence none the richer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a little spot on.
Mm-hmm. So then, let's see, Jen and Abby are outside of school and they start talking about Christy, who we met, like, what was that? The first episode of season 2?
Something
Um,
like that.
yeah, and they are accusing her of having, like, a boob job?
Yeah. It's, you know, it's yeah.
I
Like they're just like she has great breasts, probably a boob job, and it's like, oh, you're very much in high school.
Yeah, but I'm also like, I feel like they just needed this scene to remind us who Christy is and that she's there.
Yeah, because otherwise we're just like a blonde girl with a jock. We needed some kind of like, no, she's an important blonde girl with a jock.
Yeah. And I do kind of like Abby's like definition of himbo.
Yeah, I'm wondering because like I've heard himbo from on podcasts that I listen to or today, but I don't know that I don't know how common the term himbo was in 1998.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who uses that term regularly.
Hmm.
But yeah, Abby says like I guess that she's into this guy that Christy's dating and that she's going to try to steal him at the dance.
Oh, Andie or no, Abby. Abby, this girl, just like what is her and Jen clearly both need something and it's not each other.
Yeah. Anyway, so somehow we go to the hall and like a hallway in school and Christy and her boyfriend are fighting in the hall. So I guess some time's passed, I don't know. And Dawson walks by to see all this and comes up to Joey's locker and says, "Promise me we'll never make a scene like that."
Yep. And she says, "Yep. No, we won't do that."
That like feeling of a couple being like, "We're so much better than the other couples." And then usually you get your comeuppance.
Yeah. I didn't even remember this scene towards when I was watching the end of the episode, but now I'm just like, okay, that was well done, writers.
Yeah, I know it seems like nothing and then you're like, "Oh."
Oh.
And then they briefly I don't even know how it comes up, but they briefly talk about the possibility of sex between them. And it's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we haven't really talked about that much since we started dating."
Yeah. We used to talk about sex all the time when it was theoretical. Like, I don't know. Y'all are 15, 16. It's, I mean, and that's the thing that comes up for me at least towards the end of the episode when it's like just you're people assuming what a relationship has to be or that it has to be everything or it has to be the most dominant thing in your life, and it's just like you guys are in high school. This can be an extracurricular.
Yeah. To be fair though, like when I was in high school, I was afraid to try to date anyone because I was worried it would like get out of hand in terms of like I didn't want to date anyone because I just was worried they'd ruin my life.
Emotionally or
Like I don't know, they'd like convince me not to go to college or like I don't know, they would just derail my life in some way.
Yeah, I mean, that was the narrative we were given as children was don't ever depend on a man, don't need a boy, boys are problems. And look how that's worked out for us.
Everything else in our lives, I think, is pretty well adjusted, except for that.
Yeah, we're pretty functional outside of the dating realm.
But I think it's also like millennials, we were like taught at more than anything, don't get pregnant.
Yeah. Don't get pregnant, and you have to go to college. It doesn't matter how much it costs.
It'll pay off, don't worry.
It'll pay off. If you don't go to college, it'll ruin your life. And it can't possibly ruin your life to go to college.
Yeah. Yeah. So then they're in the hall, and Jen and Abby walk by, and Joey expresses concern about Jen being friends with Abby.
Yeah.
And Joey says that they should invite her to the dance. And she's like, her grandfather did just die. And
Yeah, and she like references like it's really hard to lose a family member, and she doesn't have to say it, but remember when my mom died? That was hard. And that it was kind of surprising because like I mean, I guess people mature and stuff, but it was interesting to see Joey kind of like empathize with Jen and realize that maybe Jen needs some support.
yeah, now that she doesn't see her as a romantic threat, she's like, hey,
Yeah.
maybe we should be nice to her.
Yeah, now that you have committed to me, maybe we could like be nice to her.
Mm-hmm. So Dawson goes somewhere else, I don't remember, and Joey's at her locker, and Jack comes into the hall, and I think he immediately like just drops stuff everywhere or something because
Yeah.
he's klutzy.
He like dumps his whole backpack for no reason. It's just like they clearly told the actor just like walk in and like throw everything on the ground like you're an idiot. And he's like, "All right."
Mm-hmm. And as he's picking stuff up, like Joey scurries off. She's just like, okay, he doesn't see me. I'm going to go.
Yeah. Which I've definitely done that when I see someone I don't want to talk to, just like go be somewhere else.
So, Pacey is next talking to Andie about picking her up for the dance. And he's like, so you don't want me to pick you up at your house, right?
Yeah. Good job, Pacey. Good job learning.
Yeah. And he does briefly ask about her mom, like how is she doing? And Andie's just like, let's change the subject.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they talk about going to the dance, and Andie's like, I expect a dance out of you or whatever. And Pacey lays down the law. He's like, I don't dance. I won't dance.
Yeah, and like I kind of need more backstory here. Like, did he have like was there like an 8th grade dance where he embarrassed himself, or like what happened?
Yeah. No,
But they don't give us that.
It just seems like, no, I'm too cool.
Which like whenever someone says they don't dance, what I assume is that you're afraid and you're embarrassed. Like, which
Yeah.
is fine. You can say that, but
Mhm.
don't depend. It's like a choice on principle.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like in college, not that I went clubbing a lot or anything, but like it would annoy me when guys are like, "No, I'm not going to dance." And it's like, "But then why are you here?"
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, like you respect the men who will make a fool out of themselves, cuz let's be real, most men can't dance.
Yeah,
Like
most people
can't dance, yeah. But it's like not caring and just participating wins you a
Yeah.
lot of points.
It's like a shared vulnerability, which is how you bond with people.
Hmm. And okay, so Dawson comes out to join them talking about the dance, I guess, and then Andie asks Pacey and Dawson if Jack can come.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dawson's like, oh yeah, that would actually be great because we're going to invite Jen, so maybe they can kind of go together.
Yeah, and Joey's like,
Well, I don't know if Joey was in this scene, but I remember Pacey was like, That sounds like a bad idea.
Oh, you're
Sounds
right,
like
you're right.
they don't have anything in common.
Yeah, it was, I mean, they don't have anything in common, but it was, yeah, it was interesting that Pacey was so against it.
Yeah. Okay, so Dawson comes home from school and his parents are waiting for him on the porch.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Why don't you take a seat?"
Yeah. Yeah, when you come home and your parents tell you to have a seat, you know something's up.
Yeah. Yeah, and they kind of are like beating around the bush, struggling to tell him what the point of this conversation is.
Yeah.
And then they finally say like, "We're separating."
Yeah, we're
You
gonna
know, like,
spend some time apart or something like
mhm.
that.
Mhm. And then Dawson's like, "What if you tried harder?"
Yeah, and I mean, the first thing he says is like, what if you went like back to counseling? And to be fair, I think if you don't have a lot of experience with therapy or counseling, you'll go to like the first appointment or two and be like, this is both uncomfortable and not helping. And it's like, yeah, cuz it takes time and it's uncomfortable before it gets better, and like you have to both participate and you have to accept that this is going to take a while and it's not always going to be a direct path. But if you don't have experience with that, you're just like, well, this isn't working. Why would I do it?
Mhm. Yeah. And like, I don't know, maybe they do need time to like cool off or something so they can have some perspective and be like, "Okay, like
Yeah.
this is worth salvaging, I guess." I don't know.
Yeah, that was sort of the sense I got as the episode went on. I was like, oh, this might actually be good for them.
Yeah. But yeah, they're like, "Nope, we've decided that we are gonna spend time apart." And then Dawson's like, "Well, I conclude that your conclusion sucks."
Yeah. And it got me think like I was trying to like think about what it's like to be the parents, because like you have the unit of the parents who are in their romantic relationship together, but then you also have the unit of the family. And so Dawson is like, wait, this affects me. I am involved in this. And it does affect like the family, but there's also this sort of this direct one-to-one relationship that's not affects him but is not about him. So, yeah, I think it's reasonable that he wants to. It's tough because like it makes sense for him to have input and have emotions about how this affects the family, but I was thinking about like whether or how much the parents should listen, like how does that weigh against their relationship that isn't about him,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's like parents are gonna make decisions without you. Like,
Yeah, that's
par-
true.
they're like, "We're moving," and you're like, "But I like where I am." They're like, "Yep, but we're moving." Like, parents just kind of, you just kind of have to be along for the ride a lot of the time. Um,
Yeah.
so let's see. Next, we're with Jack and Andie somewhere in downtown, right before the dance, and Jack mentions like he's like, so Pacey's like picking us up here because we're avoiding our mom, basically. And he says something of like, she's not getting better, right?
Yeah.
It is kind of weird because like Andie says that he lives in a dream world where like if he doesn't think about it, it's not a problem or something.
Mm.
Um, but it seems like maybe he's just more resigned to the fact of like it's not gonna get better, so let's
Yeah,
just keep going
I get,
without.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it makes me think about how people feel different levels. And is Andie the older one?
I think Jack is supposed to be the older one, but
Oh,
it's hard to say because I think they're like in the same grade.
or something. But it just made me think, along with maybe him being more resigned, I could see as being, even if you're not the oldest child, the oldest daughter,
Mhm.
feeling a lot more responsibility to make things work. I think in different families, there are people who feel like they have to keep things together, and then there are people who are just like, well, this is what's happening, I just need to survive it within this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was like, you guys have very different perspectives, and I don't think you're helping each other.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Andie responds to this saying, like, I just want one night of fun. She's like, just let me avoid this for today.
Yeah. Let me have one night where I'm not the caretaker.
Mm-hmm. Then Andie says to Jack, maybe you'll meet your person tonight. Like, she's trying to get Jack excited about this dance, which he clearly does not seem excited. And she's like, maybe you'll meet your person. And then he says, maybe I already have.
Yeah. Also, all the boys' clothes are too big, but his suit looked exceptionally too big. His clothes looked so big on him.
I made an acknowledgement on my notes of like, at this dance, everyone's in a suit. And I'm like, that's better than the last dance. Because if you remember, like, Dawson wore like a sweater with a giant vest over it.
Oh, yeah. I think that was like the coming back to school dance, and this is like homecoming, so it's a little more formal.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it wasn't like fully connected. It wasn't like a cohesive suit a lot of the time. It was like, here are khakis, and here are a blazer, and everything is very baggy.
Like they're all just borrowing dad's clothes or something.
Yeah. Well, also, boys just wore their clothes so big in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then Pacey pulls up in his dad's cop car and picks him up to go to the dance.
Yeah, that's fine and normal.
Okay, so then we go back to Dawson's house, where Mitch is packing up his stuff in his car, and Gail is outside with him while he does this, and he reiterates, he says it's temporary, and it seems like they're being amicable, like,
yeah,
they're not fighting anymore.
Yeah, it was interesting the way he said, like, it's only temporary, because that very much implied, like, it sounds like you guys have an intention to get back or stay together. Like, that's what that implies to me. And yeah, it just reminded me of a decision I was making in my life, where I was like, okay, if I make this decision, how easy is it to take back?
Yeah. Because that helps with, like, understanding the risk of whatever you're doing is like, how easily can I undo this?
Yeah. So the more it went on, the more I was like, oh, this might be a good call for them. Just get some distance, get some perspective, see if they miss each other.
Mm-hmm. And Dawson appears to be watching this whole thing from his bedroom window while he's like getting ready for the dance. Mitch pulls away and leaves, and Dawson comes down to the kitchen to say goodbye to his mom to go to the dance, and his mom will not look at him. She's just crying in the kitchen like, nothing's wrong, I'm fine, go have fun.
And I think we've all been there, that moment of like, I have to cry, but I really don't want to derail everyone's evening. I don't want this to be a whole thing, but I can't stop crying. So can we all pretend I'm not crying? Because like, I need to cry, but I want everything to continue as planned.
Yeah. I like her excuse of it's the onions.
Yeah.
I've used the excuse of it's allergies.
Yeah. It's not that I'm miserable or I feel trapped in my life.
It's just I breathed too much pollen.
Yeah.
And my eyes are running uncontrollably.
I was just thinking about a really sad movie.
Yeah, so Dawson offers to stay home, but his mom tells him to go. So he just leaves his mom in the kitchen crying.
So Dawson's on rocky emotional ground.
Yeah. So they're all in the hallway at school next. All of them meet up in the hallway, and Jen and Jack appear to be blindsided. They're like, hello, person that I'm being introduced to that apparently everyone really wants to introduce me to.
Yeah. It was such a classic thing of like, well, it's kind of uncomfortable for us all to go with this single person. So let's just pair them off with another single person and it will be more comfortable for us.
Honestly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you my prom, like, originally it was going to be like me and 5 other friends that were going to prom, but then it turned out that there were 3 boys and 3 girls out of the 6 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so the 2 of the boys and the 2 other girls paired up as like dates. And so me and another guy just kind of looked at each other and are like, "Okay. I guess you're my date.
Yeah.
Okay."
Honestly, I a lot of people just go to prom with like, yeah, yeah, this is fine.
But yeah, that's kind of how Jack and Jen seem right now. They're like, "Okay. All
Mm-hmm.
right."
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're in the dance, and I noticed also at this dance, suddenly everyone's a professional dancer.
Swing dancer.
Yeah.
Everyone's swing dancing in 1998 at a high school homecoming. Why are we swing dancing?
I do not know, but it made me think of Not Another Teen Movie. At the dance, there's some person who says, "Wow, you wouldn't think that everyone here's a professional dancer."
I have not seen that movie in years, but I believe it.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Mm.
It maybe didn't age great, but
Yeah.
okay, so Andie's trying to get Pacey to dance, and he's just not going for it.
Yeah.
Um, Abby like says hello to Jen and is like, "Oh, you've decided to join us after all." And then she's like, "Oh, nice dress. I have that in a smaller size."
Yeah, that was really weird.
I don't know.
It's like, are you calling her fat? What are we doing? Like, what does
Yeah,
this
it's kind of
mean?
weird because they ended on like a bad note the last time we left them before this episode, and then at the beginning of the episode they seem chummy again, and now they seem like they're at odds again. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of a frenemies situation where it's like they don't have other people in their lives. So, and Abby's one of those people that like hurts you or pushes you away, and then as soon as they're ready, pulls you back in. And I
Mhm.
remember seeing Abby come up, and I was like, oh, she looks like Girl Interrupted. Like, she looks like dark makeup and like kind of like wet hair. And she looks very ominous.
Mm. Yeah, and then let's see. So Jack and Joey, every time they interact at this dance, they just seem so awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And Andie makes Jen dance with Jack,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Okay."
We're being set up. We know this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then Dawson and Joey are dancing, and Dawson tells Joey like everything that happened prior to the dance. He's like, "So, yeah, my mom's like crying in the kitchen and things are bad."
Yeah.
Then Dawson comments that Jack and Jen seem to be getting along as they're like dancing together. And Joey does not like the situation before her with Jack and Jen. She seems concerned. She's like, Jack's just such a nice guy and Jen's a barracuda.
Yeah, it's clear that Joey feels very conflicted about Jack.
Hmm. And I think Dawson's like, why do you care so much? Why do you
Yeah.
have an opinion on this? But let's see. Yeah, and then Pacey still will not dance. But at the dance, he is looking over at Christy with her boyfriend dancing.
Yeah. And this is and I believe, is this the same girl that he asked out, or that Andie asked out for him, and Andie told the
Yeah.
girl that he had a heart stripe that was somehow going to
Yep.
kill him?
Yep. And so I don't know. At some point, maybe Christy found out that that was a lie. They didn't really tell us what happened there.
I don't think Christy paid much attention to Pacey. I don't think she was concerned.
She forgot.
She was like, "That's so sad you're dying. I have to go now." And it's just one of those, like, why you don't know this girl. You just are wrapped up in the fantasy of her.
Mm-hmm.
You don't actually care about this girl. You just like the idea of what she is and what it would mean for you to be with her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like having a status at the school, like, oh, he can pull this hot chick,
Yeah, it's
basically.
like I'll have self-worth if I can capture this valuable item.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jen leaves the dance floor, I guess because she's like, I'm kind of sick of being being a pet to these people that they get to like matchmake with.
Mm-hmm.
And then Andie comes over to Joey and Dawson and is like, well, I'm not going to dance with my brother. So, Joey, you need to dance with Jack and I'll dance with Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
And Joey's like, I don't know about that. So, Jack and Joey are sort of dancing while having a quiet argument
Mm-hmm.
about what happened, and then in the background Dawson's dancing with Andie, but he's like watching the two of them the whole time.
Yeah, Dawson's like right there.
Yeah. And then Joey goes running into the hall to just get away from the whole situation, but Jack follows her
Mm-hmm.
and he says that like he thinks her anger is misguided, and I think he says like I don't think you're angry for me kissing you. I think you're angry for kissing me back.
Yeah.
And then Jack turns and Dawson is right there.
Dawson is right there. And is not pleased.
Yeah. And then Joey runs to the bathroom.
Yep. And then Joey runs away. Oh Jack, oh Dawson, oh Joey.
Okay, so next we're back in the gymnasium where people are dancing, and Abby is apparently dancing with I think his name's Brett, which is Christy's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, okay, so where's Christy?
Yeah.
Um Jen goes to thank Andie for the invite, but says she's like, I think I'm gonna go home. And right as she was telling Andie this, and Andie's like, oh, don't go. Jack comes up and says, so I think I'm gonna go home. And then Andie's like, oh, okay, great. You guys can go home together.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not that deep. Sometimes it's like, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a Jack situation where you're like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. But then Dawson comes up behind him and is like, you kissed my girlfriend. And then Jack's like, I don't know. It was a weird night. The moon was full.
Yeah. It was a full moon. That's why it happened.
And then Jack said he's like, honestly, I don't regret it. I'd do it again.
Ooh. Which
And
was like
then,
kind of bold.
yeah, I know. And I guess he thought Dawson would not punch him, but then Dawson punches.
Yeah, I think he says something like, "Listen, we're both not that guy. Like we're not." And then Dawson's like, "Tonight I am." Punches him in the face.
Okay, so then we cut away from that, and Pacey is in, I guess, some other hall and sees Christy sulking against the lockers and apparently is vulnerable after having a fight with her boyfriend, who I guess she claims like is just into anybody and is, that she's not anything special to him and he's not really faithful to her or whatever.
Yeah.
Um
And it's like, come
and
on, Pacey, just
yeah, and then Pacey takes it upon himself to like build this girl's ego.
yeah.
And he basically is saying to her that she can pull, like she can get anybody.
Yeah.
Don't be sad, you could have anyone.
Yeah.
And then she's like, so does that mean that you like me too?
If he wasn't there with Andie, this would be cute. But he has been there with Andie, ignoring Andie, not participating in the dance with Andie.
Yeah, like it's very clear Andy's into him, but he's been kind of not fully invested, I guess, because he sees this other potential opportunity, I guess. which is
Yeah.
really lame.
Well, it does remind me of like something I've experienced more when I was younger was like, oh, if someone's interested in me, there must be something wrong with them. If they're interested in me, they are clearly an undesirable person.
If they're interested in me, they must not know me very well.
It's fine. We work on that in therapy.
Yeah, we have such a high self-esteem. Anyway, so yeah, so she asked Pacey if he likes her, and he's like, "Well, yeah." And then she asks him to dance, to which he says, "Yes."
Oh, Pacey, you dumb dumb.
Yeah. Yep. And okay, so then we cut to Mitch, who apparently is at a gross motel. It's like lit with neon lights and it looks dingy and dark.
I and you know what? I mean, also he doesn't have a job, so
Yeah, but I'm also like, I don't know, what happened to that friend who suggested you have an open marriage? Couldn't you stay with him or something instead of
something,
this
man.
weird motel?
Yeah, it's pretty grungy.
Yeah. Um And so he's like sitting on the gross bed watching TV and he calls Gail.
Mm-hmm.
Gail picks up and he doesn't say anything right away. He kind of hesitates because he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have called her." But then he kind of brushes it off and is like, "Did you know that I now have a 24-hour access to the at like
Home
the cube
shopping network.
home shopping network?" There you go.
Yeah.
Um just trying to make it sound light, light and
Yeah.
fun. And he asks how Gail's doing, and Gail's like, "We have a big house."
Yes. Uh,
It's like, yes, yes, you do. Um,
90s problems.
mm-hmm. But then Mitch is like, "You know as well as I do that the house is too small for both of us right now."
Yeah.
Um, and they agree on that. And then they don't really talk about anything else. He's just like, "All right, I'll talk to you later."
Yeah.
And then he gets up and stares out of the dingy motel window.
Yeah. Oh, Mitch. Oh, Gail.
Mhm. So then we cut back to the dance and Andie is saying bye to Jen and Jack, who has a black eye now, I guess. And as they leave, Andie turns to see Pacey dancing with Christy in the hall.
Oh, God. That's so shitty.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she just runs off and Pacey sees that she saw and then he's like, "Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oopsies."
Oops, the consequences of my actions.
Then Joey and Dawson's argument continues. They're like walking out of the school and they're yelling at each other and she apologizes to Dawson and Dawson just doesn't understand. He's like, "Why did you kiss a guy when you've been obsessed with me for so long?"
Yeah.
She says something of like, "Oh, well, this situation isn't about me and Jack." And he's like, "Yeah, it's about us." And she's like, "No, it's about me."
Yeah, and I didn't quite get what she meant by that. It kind of gets more
Yeah.
clear towards the end of the episode, but I'm like, what do you mean, Joey?
Hmm. Yeah, but while they're having this like argument, you notice that everyone else is just turning and watching this situation unfold. And then they have this moment of realization that they're that couple.
Yeah, fighting in front of everybody.
So then we see Jack walking Jen home, and they seem to just be getting along fine. No,
Yeah.
no attraction is visible, it seems.
Yeah.
And before Jack leaves Jen, Jen's like, "So you really like her, huh?" And he says, "I guess I'm just a sucker for lost causes." And then she's like, "Oh no, you're romantic." And then he's like, "Do you mean loser?" like, I just like how they're kind of real with each other and
Yeah.
just trying to be friendly.
Yeah, I like them as friends.
Hmm. Like they're both kind of, I don't want to say they're above it all, but they're just like, I feel like both of them have some perspective of like, none of this is that serious. Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because Jen has these moments of like recognition and like perspective, and then she also has moments where it's like you're being so stupid right now.
Yeah. And so Jack goes to leave, but then Jen thanks Jack for giving her a good time. And then she says this like really pitiful thing where she says, "Yeah, when you were with me, you did a good job at pretending you didn't want to be with somebody else."
Oof. Yeah, they're both kind of like feeling sorry for themselves.
Yeah, but then Jen is like, "I think you should keep fighting. Like, I think you should like keep going. I'm rooting for you," kind of vibe.
Yeah, keep going for your lost cause, which is like on the one hand is like kind of a supportive thing to say to Jack, but also kind of meddlesome knowing
Hmm.
that it would screw up Joey and Dawson's relationship.
Yep. So as Jack is walking away from Jen's house, we see a car pull up, and it's Mitch pulling up to his house.
Yeah.
And it seems like Mitch is having a harder time right now than Gail is.
Well, I think we're seeing more of Mitch at this point. And yeah, and he like pulls up and I was like, "Oh my gosh, is he going to like go in there and see her?" And then he's like seeing Gail through the window and I was like, "Oh my gosh, is Gail going to do something that like is there going to be is she going to see someone else in the house and it's going to be like a misunderstanding?" But it's more just he like watches Gail and is like and drives away.
Yeah. All right. And then next we see Andie sulking
Yeah.
at the dock. So you
She's
know
at the
some
dock.
stuff's going to happen because she's at the dock. Pacey comes up to her and is apologizing, and Andy's like, "Oh no, it's fine. We don't mean anything to
Yeah.
each other, right? Like you could do whatever you want." Just being very guarded
Yeah,
and
well, but also sarcastic because she's because like clearly they had
mhm.
been like becoming closer. So by her saying that, she's like, "Yeah, we both know we were becoming closer. You know what you did was out of line."
Yeah. And Pacey uses the excuse of like, "Oh, I didn't really mean anything by it. Christy is just a fantasy. Like I was just creating a fantasy that I've had." And then Andy's like, "Well, so was I. I was trying to create a fantasy tonight, but you kind of ruined it."
Yeah, I was trying to create one with you.
And then Pacey has this moment of like, "Why do you like me?"
Yeah, and they kind of like have it out of her being like, "I don't know where you get this loser shtick," and he's like, "Why do you like me?" And I don't know. It just reminded me of how when typically men will like say, "Oh, I'm all screwed up," or like, "I'm so bad at relationships," or do something like this, or like, "Why do you like me? I'm such a screw up." And it's like you say that as if it absolves you, as if saying like acknowledging that you
Mm.
suck doesn't make you suck less. It just means that you knowingly suck.
Hmm. Yeah, which is kind of worse.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's like 16.
Yeah. But I've definitely had that of like, why do you like me?
'Cause you're cool.
Thanks. But yeah, it kind of goes back to you saying like must be wrong with you if you like me.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Andie gives him the compliments he's kind of fishing for.
Yeah.
She says like, "I don't understand the loser complex. Like you're so kind and you don't judge and you're smart and da da da."
Yeah.
And Pacey's like apologetic and says, "I spent the moment with the wrong person." And then I guess yeah, then they just start dancing
Yeah.
in the dock, and then they kissy kiss a little.
Yeah, it was hard to it was hard for me to warm up to Pacey in that moment just cuz I feel like I've seen that dynamic so many times. Particularly with adults, it's like I have very little patience for it, but I'm like, okay, he's 16. There's maybe more of a level of like sincere insecurity there. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's also like to some amount, I think he's probably thinking, well, once she gets to know me, she's not gonna like me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, if I have this opportunity with someone else, like, I should just take it, because who knows, like, what any of this will yield or something.
Yeah, except the part, it also, to me, there was this inherent dynamic of like, oh, she's a more valuable person.
Right.
She,
Yeah.
it is better, like, why would I go for you when I have a chance with her? I don't know how you get past, I would find it difficult to get past seeing someone you're interested in kind of display that clearly, that they don't see you as the same level as this other person.
Yeah. I don't know if it's earned,
Yeah.
that moment. Yeah. It seems like, I don't know, the idea is that he's like, oh, well, then when I saw how upset you were, then I realized I cared about you a lot or something.
Yeah, which, okay.
Okay, so then Dawson comes home. Uh, he goes up into his room, and somehow Joey has beat him there.
Yeah.
She's already waiting for him. She apologizes again.
Mm-hmm.
Dawson gets like existential. He's like, "What happened to us?"
Yeah, he's like, what's going on between us? And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You guys are trying to be deeper than it is. You're trying to make this bigger than it is. Like, it just seems like they're blowing it up so big, and it's like,
They have to.
yeah, and it's like, okay, let's lay down the, like, I don't know. At least for me, it helps when in, like, a complicated charge situation to kind of stop and establish the facts of, like, okay, Jack kissed her. She did not initiate it. Maybe she didn't, like, immediately push him away. But, like, it's not like she went and kissed somebody else. Are you upset about the lying? Or the, omission of truth? But, that's also not how people argue.
Yeah, but yeah, he mentions, like, you've been pulling away from me. And he's like, I thought I was what you wanted. And then she says this thing that's confusing. She says, "You're what I'm going to want."
Yeah, that was weird. That was real weird. You're what I'm going to want. It sounds like he's what you wanted previously. I mean, maybe it's that, like, she was more in love with the idea of what their relationship would be.
Mm-hmm.
And going to want implies that she wants something else right now.
Yeah. And it's interesting, this conversation, like, she says, you were my dream. And then she's like, I got my dream. And now I feel like I don't have anything else. And it's funny because this feels like the same excuse Gail gave to Mitch,
Sort of.
Like I got everything I wanted. And then I realized I just wanted to want something. Like,
yeah. Kind of. It also just, it sounds like basically the same conversation they had about the art stuff. About her doing art and having something else in her life and being like, I need other things than you. And that was what I kept coming back to. It's like, she's like, I can't just have you. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Your relationship with Dawson can be one of the things in your life. Everything just seems so all or nothing.
Which, I don't know. I get, when you're younger, you feel like everything's all or nothing. At least for me, it felt that way. Everything felt very black and white, and like...
Yeah, that's true. And I also can identify with sort of as the conversation goes on and it leaves on a very sort of up in the air note. It reminds me of, like, sometimes when I am in an uncomfortable space or feel like there is something wrong with my life or something missing, I have an instinct to, like, I have to change something and fix something. And I'm like, my instinct is I need to take some kind of action. I don't usually do anything, like, drastic, but I have come to see that like, instinct doesn't usually make me feel better. Like, there's not an action I'm going to take to just pull myself out of this discomfort. I just kind of have to sit with it and think about ways to adapt in ways that make myself more comfortable or more fulfilled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she's not that aware.
She's a child.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know who I am and you do. You just have like your whole life figured out, which I'm like,
No, he
girl,
doesn't.
people who are that young and think they have their life figured out are in for some rude awakenings.
Yeah, yeah, he wants to be a filmmaker, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So the next 20 years of your life are gonna be, like, really fucking hard. You're not, like I'm sure, what I presume is that he'll, because it's a TV show, he'll, like, go to film school, and he'll make his first film, and it'll get attention, but, like, no, trying to make any career in the arts is fucking torture.
Mm-hmm.
It's torture and poverty and dismissal and rejection. That's what Dawson has himself lined up for.
Yep, and that's gonna be great for him. But yeah, she says like, I need to find my something, and it doesn't include you.
Yeah, it's like it's not you don't have to like get rid of him for there to be something else. You can hold two with two hands, hold two things.
Yeah.
Get a basket and hold multiple things.
Yeah, and it feels like some of the things she says are things that I feel like adults tell you and you just believe them, where she's like, I need to make myself happy first. Like that thing of like, you need to be a whole person before you can find someone else and that kind of stuff. And it's like, ideally, yes, but realistically, no.
Ideally, yes, but it doesn't. You don't have to throw something away because it's not in the end state that you want it to be.
Yeah. So she says all this, and then she gets up to walk out of the window.
As you do.
And as she is about to leave, Dawson says he loves her.
Yeah, and she says it back.
Yeah, she turns and is like, I love you too. And then she keeps going to leave.
Yeah, and then Dawson's like, wait! We can't just say I love you.
It can't be over.
Yeah, and I was like, well, number one, who said it was over? Neither of you said it's over. You're just assuming that it's over. He just, clearly he wants something, he wants to say I love you and have that just solve all the problems.
Yeah. He's like, but if I love you, that should fix everything.
Oh, Dawson, you're in for so many rude awakenings. You're just going to be awakened and awakened and awakened. And I don't know if you will stay woke, but you are going to be brutally awakened in this life.
Yeah, so he's having a tantrum. She goes out the window. Dawson throws some things in his room, and then he runs out and sees Joey running off. She was running so funny, like she's flailing her arms basically. And
she's in a homecoming dress and like what looked like pretty practical flat shoes, but like she's in a little slip of a dress.
Like platform sandals or something. Yeah. I don't know.
And she's running through the grass and it's
I bet our girl could run, but she's in the worst outfit for it. Like she's probably wearing like a tight skirt of a dress where she can only like move her legs that much.
Yeah, she's not able to access her full stride.
So yeah, Dawson's watching her run away, and then he walks over the ladder and he kicks it down.
Yeah, that'll show that ladder. But no, that is like symbolically a big thing because that's been such a big part of their relationship and the show itself.
Yeah, he's like, you can't just come to my room anymore, aka my heart.
Or yeah, and she can't possibly like pick the ladder up and throw it against the house again. She can't do that. It reminds me of Miranda and I had traveled recently, and you know the airport's like, you need to have the real ID. You need to have this super duper America ID, and then you go to the sign and it's like, if you don't have the right ID, it's a $45 charge. And I'm like, so I don't think this is doing what you think it's doing. Because people are very used to paying, like, a $45 fee is not a security measure. I don't know what to tell you. People out to cause havoc and chaos will find $45.
You know, my bet is they thought it was really gonna just destroy, like, immigrants, like, having this ID requirement. But then they realized old people can't be bothered to go to the DMV, and they're like, oh no, we're harming the old people. It's fine. We'll just charge them $45 and then we'll be okay with it.
Yeah. Oh no, this is impacting white people. Oh no, this is impacting the white people that voted for us. It's inconveniencing them. And a lot of white people do want xenophobic political actions taken on their behalf, but they don't want the inconvenience of it. They don't want racism to be inconvenient for them. Anyway.
Yep. Okay, so that's the end of the episode.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess it's time for the question. Whose creek is it?
Ooh, you did a very sultry. Whose creek is it? I kind of want to say it's Dawson's Creek this time. That's sort of where my mind is going.
Okay. Yeah, I think you might be right. I'd say the runners up for me would be Joey and Pacey. Although Pacey's resolution doesn't really feel fully earned.
Yeah.
But he's like, hey, maybe I should like the girl who actually likes me and not just the hot popular one.
Yeah. And I guess it doesn't feel like Joey was... In this episode, Joey was kind of like, oh no, something bad is happening. I don't know what to do about it, so I'm just going to do nothing.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because of the plot line with Mitch and Gale and the way that affects Dawson. That sort of is tilting me in that direction.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you that it was, in fact, Dawson's Creek.
Once in a while. On the other hand, it doesn't necessarily feel like he, learned and grew. It's just, a lot of things happened.
A lot of unfortunate things happened to him.
Yeah, and he did not have the maturity or, ability to process them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're just the main character because things are happening to you.
Maybe it was Christie's Creek.
Maybe. On the other hand, Christy was basically just a plot device for Pacey.
Yeah, she was. Anyway.
I wonder what happened with Abby that night. Did she,
Did she score with the guy?
Yeah, did Brock or Brett or whatever his name is?
Did she get punched out by Christy? I don't know. We'll never know.
Oh, Abby. God, some people are just walking, talking messes.
Let's see. The next episode is episode 7 of season 2 called The All-Nighter.
Ooh.
All night long.
All night. All night. Yeah, I'm wondering, this could be any number of, this could be a purposeful or accidental sleepover. This could be all-nighter studying for a test or working on a project. This could be someone having an emotional crisis and their friend or loved one comforting them all night. I don't know. So many things could happen in the night.
Yeah, it's really a mystery.
Says the girl who's seen the show 5 times. Yeah, it's a mystery to me, at least.
Yep, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens next on Dawson's Creek.
On Whose Creek Is It?
Whose Creek Is It? We will find out whose creek it was and or will be.